everybody. This is DB. Welcome to 420 Table Talk. Season 2, Episode 4.
Man, I don't know how he keeps track of this, but it's another episode, and we're here, Willie T, in the building. So, you know what I brought this time, DB? I got my Hi-Fi Duo. I think we did the video of this earlier, man. I've absolutely loved this device.
Oh, the unboxing.
Yeah, we're going to have to do another video, another little follow-up video soon. So
that's right. We mentioned that too.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow so you can check out that video with us.
Well, you brought that today. I brought some 99 strawberries.
99 strawberries?
Yeah.
I love this power hitter, man. This power hitter rocks.
And especially for social distancing era right now that we're in. If you're like one of those people that are all about it, that's the way to go. Because then you're not, there's no lip on lip transaction or anything. Just puffing in the air, you're sucking out the air. You're freaking not causing any problems with anybody.
Nice.
Germaphobes, this is a great way to go.
Great way to go, especially right now. What else we got here?
That is some forbidden fruit honeycombs.
Oh man!
And we have right there. We have some Magic Melons diamonds.
Magic Melon diamonds.
Yep. And then the dirty one is called Wai-Ho, and she does taste very dirty. That was this one here.
So in the diamonds ones, do you need a diamond pickaxe to get these, or does the standard one work, bro?
I think we need.
I'm looking behind the camera right now, just so I can get dirty looks about Minecraft jokes.
It's not funny. No streaming Minecraft.
Oh man, not the Minecraft. That might be a diamond pick.
Minecraft jokes for days.
I remember last season we were talking about that hat you're wearing today. You brought it.
Oh yeah, I forgot I did bring this. I don't know how I could forget because it is like 40 pounds on your head.
40-pound hat from.
That's a little dusty. She's seen quite a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, this hat is pretty well known in this. Got lots of videos up there floating around with Willie T's hat. It was back when I worked at a trade show. I'll never forget because we were giving away pins. Let's see if I can find our pin. It's been so long. There it is. The Afterglow party right there. That was our party we were hosting. And so we had this party right here. And my friend wanted to go, so he walked up to my booth. Good guy at Kill Your Culture. He gave us these awesome purple Urkel hat pin to go on my hat, and I had myself a couple hat pins on my hat. So we were at some other shows, and one of the ladies that used to work at PAX, she gave me a little bit of smack, and she's like, "Well, Willie, you don't have 8 hat pins, so you're not a true Eagle Scout." And I said, "Oh yeah, you just wait." So I went around the show, and I was asking people to give me some hat pins. Well, I got the 8 I needed. I think it was like 8 or 9, I don't remember. And so I was like, "Oh yeah, see, I got all my hat pins." But because of that moment, for like the next year, people would come up to me and give me hat pins for my hat.
Right.
And so I started given all these hat pins, and I just started adding them to my hat. And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
And now it's a full display.
Now I got a full display with hats from all sorts of companies and friends. And I didn't purchase a single one of these.
And those are old school ones too. They look like
me.
they're more the older ones from the early 2000s instead of the ones now that are made. They look like they're more better made with better metal.
Yep.
Yeah,
So had these for a minute. So I decided to break it out. When my hair was a little bit longer, it used to catch on the inside and pull when I take my hat off. That stuff hurt. But I remember too, the last time I wore it was during a trade show. It just got to the point where I got back to my room, and I was like, my neck is just
you said you had a headache
because I got so much weight on my head.
You said he had a headache, folks. I remember, I believe it was episode 2 of our first season last year when he mentioned they were talking about the trade show and stuff. And he said, I got back and my neck was hurting, my headache, I had a headache.
Yeah.
We're going to try some of these 25 milligram CBD drinks, raspberry sparkling water, just to shits and giggles,
So what's going on in the world today, Mr. DB?
Oh man, so what's going on in the world today is seems like a few states that went legal. The justice system in those states have decided that they're not gonna what do you want to call it? They're not gonna recognize. They're not gonna recognize that it went legal. So they're still arresting people. So now the legalization there, from what I was reading, says you're allowed to have up to 6 ounces on your person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're allowed to carry 6 ounces or have 6 ounces on you, up to 6 ounces for personal use. Now it can be different baggies and stuff like that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So they're arresting people that have less than a half ounce of cannabis, and they're arresting people. So I was like, as I'm reading this article, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, Willie, so what are they doing? Are they posted outside a dispensary like a block down and waiting for a motherfucker to buy some cannabis from the...
Are you talking about New Jersey?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then what are they doing? Posting by the cannabis shop and then waiting for them to come out with their cannabis, then pulling them over and going, oh, you just bought cannabis, you must be intoxicated.
Yeah.
So now you're going to jail. And look, I ain't even smoked today, bro. I just picked this up to go home and smoke.
I mean,
And
there's
now
a
I'm going
reason
to
why a
jail?
lot of people in New Jersey don't tell
Oh,
people
yeah.
they're from New Jersey, and this is probably the reason why.
I don't get
You
it.
know, it's real crazy out there right now with everything going on. And I heard about this, you know, these police officers, they're just saying they don't recognize the rules. They're not going to recognize the laws, and they're just playing it by they want to see it.
Right.
And we have the same issue with actually 2 other states. We have it in our Stoner News. You guys can check that out on our channel. But it has 2 other states, Idaho and North Dakota. Idaho just passed an amendment to not allow people to petition the government when it comes to marijuana. And then Dakota went around and they actually voted for legalized marijuana, a constitutional amendment legalizing marijuana. And then the judge in there, they actually challenged the rule and said, you know what, we don't want to do that. Even though it passed by 8% margin. It makes no sense,
Right.
you know. That's a direct hit, you know. The government shall make no rules, you know. Gosh, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they should make no rules that's, you know, going to quell up the right to petition your government, you know, to petition your state. And our state governments are starting to show that they don't care, you know, like that there's rules, you know, it goes with the same as Wall Street. I mean, look at Wall Street. You know, hedge funds could bet all these, you know, on these hedge funds and everything. You control the market and make money, and they're getting applause.
Oh yeah, like that kid that we're reading about.
And then you get some kids who band together and create their own little unity group to hedge fund against the hedge funds and make a ton of money, and the rules change.
Right.
Instantly the rules change. All of a sudden, oh, well, no, you guys can only trade, you know, you can buy, but you can't sell, you know, or...
Man, that's messed up.
And we're constantly seeing the rules be changed based on your class. You know, on your class.
Well, it looks like it's based to state though too. State to state is different. Like in Oregon, we don't have problems here. Like cops ain't just fucking posted up by the cannabis shop waiting for us to drive off, and then 2 blocks down the road pulling us over and saying, "Hey, bro, you know you must be high, Willie, because you just went and got some cannabis from your fucking local cannabis shop. So we're gonna take you in." Yeah, that just don't sound right. You know.
Well, it is, and it's not. And I mean, there has been incidences of the cops getting people caught up on cannabis just because it's in their system. You know, we've had one thing that Oregon did do is the police love to arrest people, get them to cite that they had consumed marijuana at one point in time, even if that wasn't at the particular time that they were driving.
Well, it takes 30 days to get out of your system anyway. So
and then they would get them to submit to a piss test, thinking everything's going to be fine. Having that show up dirty, and now they were showed up for being, you know, and then they were getting shoved into programs and all that other stuff. You know, it is one of the sad side effects of legalization, you know, and I think we can all be really mad that that's how it is, but we also can't forget that without legalization in any form, in the first place,
Right. No.
you'd still be going
for
to
real.
jail.
No, for real.
And possibly facing like life
Yeah.
sentences.
Yeah, like
you
people
know.
are still there in jail for
Yeah.
life sentences.
You
In
know.
legal states, there's people in jail for life sentences.
So the thing
You
is
know.
we just have to constantly keep, fighting these battles and standing up for what we believe in. And, I mean, at one point in time, I wish I could say we just have to vote them out. But it's kind of like,
Yeah, it's
way too crazy.
It's past that point now.
It's
though.
like, even when you get, I'll give you a for instance. Here's a great for instance. Back when I legalized cannabis, the city I was in passed a moratorium. Okay? I went up against that moratorium. Now, when I went up against that moratorium, I had a very small group of people show up. Like, it was really sad. It still upsets me to this day. I'm not going to lose my shit. We had a 5,000, follower group, and we had 5 people show up. So, those were tough times. And the thing was, I'll never forget, was it got voted on, the moratorium being passed. But when it voted, we had one member, we're just going to call him John. I can't think of his name because he's a piece of shit. So we had one board member agree with us and agree that cannabis legalization needed to happen and the moratorium was not good. So he voted against the moratorium. And then I had 2 other members who were voted yes, but they were saying we could work together. Moratorium doesn't have to be 6 months. It could be a month if we just get some paperwork done, get everybody on the same track. No problem. So we had 3 of the 6 members, So that as a political person, that's a pretty good position to have. It's not the winning position yet, but it's a great position to have. Well, I lost my shit, ended up taking a job, and left that town, after that.
Right. Well, of course. I mean, only 5 people showing up, and all that. I would have left too. I'm like, fuck you guys.
And when you're
out.
sneaking your kids into a state park to take a shower, while then putting on a business suit, risking your neck for other people.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
So, I take up this job, and I'm watching from the sidelines. A bunch of my friends kind of stepped up the game plan, and they stepped in, and they actually started fighting for it, which was good. Made me feel good. They actually got 30 people to show up one day, right?
Yeah, we went from 5 to 30.
All right, yeah, exactly. Out of 5,000,
Right,
but
yeah,
hey,
no, right.
So the thing was what I noticed was, and this is when I learned it, and this was right when CNN did something on Breckenridge. And what I noticed was, because I was watching from the sidelines from Denver, I was watching what's going on in Washington,
Right.
and I was really amazed because the person who had voted, no moratorium, who was our friend, had now switched, and he was the biggest opponent. And the other 2 guys, they were all for it in legalization. There was actually, and then one of the other ones, he ended up joining, and they were all for it. But the main guy who was for it was against it. And I thought that was really crazy. Because what had happened was, I had 5 people there, but the little church group that was going up against us had 30 people there.
Wow.
So after that meeting, the politicians followed that. And I watched this happen with Breckenridge. And what happened in Breckenridge was there was a shop there, cannabis store, that was in town, and everybody was trying to get them to move out of town. Well, they didn't like what was going on, so they went and voted everyone out. And they got everyone voted out. And they got people who were pro-pot in those seats.
Right.
And so you're thinking, everybody looks at that and you go, well, they're going to get it done, right? But this is what happened. Those people who were pro switched. Because what had happened was once they got into those seats and they were in positions, they're politicians, and they survive off of doing like little fundraisers and different things like that.
Right.
And because they were doing these fundraisers, well, because of their pro position on marijuana, now their biggest investors for some of these fundraisers, the hotels, were saying, well, we're not going to donate to your little duck race for the children. And so they were losing their income.
Right.
So then you had pro-marijuana advocates come into City Hall being pro-marijuana, but then they ended up voting against them because of the money. And that's when I started to learn more about like constituencies and your bases and how more people move things.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing you got to do.
Strength in numbers, that's what it's always been. You always known. I mean, the Romans didn't get it taken down by 5 or 6 people, and there was 300 of them freaking, Aztec warriors out there, wherever they were, taking on the Romans, and they killed like thousands of them, bro, before they finally got taken out. And it took the head guy coming and taking out that 300. Not the people that he kept sending. He had to come and do it himself.
Yep.
And he almost got taken out in that process.
Which then showed that he was weak, and then
Right.
everybody was
And then it was it. Yeah,
and that's
that was
the same thing. Like, if you get the numbers behind you,
Right.
and the group that started that, they ended up getting the moratorium off because they ended up growing the numbers.
A lot of people don't know. There's like I was looking up today. You know how many different type of activists, pro-cannabis activist groups there are in Oregon? Like, dude, Willie, there's so many different organizations that are trying to push so many different things forward. Not just the flower aspect of it, not just the medical aspect of it, like the freedom of it. So people aren't going to be feeling like, okay, I can't smoke over here because I'm going to go to fucking jail for, you know what I mean? It's like, but there's so many ways to get involved in the community. There's a lot of things you do. Say you don't smoke, okay, and there's so many things you can go out and collect signatures. Just because you don't smoke, don't mean that it's not going to help the next person next to you that might smoke. They're probably smoking for a reason.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it too, I mean, it really boils. I mean, this is crazy to say, but it really boils down. A lot of the problems we face is because of this drug war.
Well,
it's because of this drug war that the police have been given all this funding, have been giving lots of these tools, and it's the reason they're feeling so empowered.
Right.
It's the reason that let police start harassing more people frequently.
I'd have to say to the Reagans, thanks to the Reagans for that one, right?
There's a man right now today that's dead because the police suspected they got a call that there was some drug activity. And the worst part about it is they even put that in the article as if that is some reason for justifying his death.
Because there was a drug activity?
Because there's drug activity. There's no drug conviction. It's not even an investigation.
So they might have been smoking a blunt?
It was a call from a person saying, there's a drug house over there. And the police showing up and feeling empowered with their weapons and attacking and killing people, and it's crazy because if you look at the cannabis situation, the cannabis rules and laws have made it. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. Nixon has caught red-handed saying exactly why they made marijuana illegal. And if you don't know about that, you need to go look it up.
Look that up.
And you're going to get me all fired up and in trouble right now.
Okay, man, get fired up, Willie. So get that high five bill going, We got
that's
an
why
unboxing of this beautiful
we call
machine.
Sorry We're Stoned, because we get fired up.
Hell yeah.
And then we go, okay, we got to get stoned. And
now we got to fire it up.
I'm sorry the world's not stoned, because sometimes y'all need to...
For real, man. I mean,
it's all connected. Like, people don't understand that. It's all connected. It all boils from the same things. Making something this illegal has caused so much drama in so many years for so many lives, and that's what you fight for. Even if you don't smoke and you fucking don't want to, even if you had a son that was a major addict and you blame the marijuana, well, they're in a lot of the trouble they're in because of the fact it's illegal and not getting the help that they need. They need fucking help, and if they're going to get help and resources and mental health services to help them, then they might not be in that situation. It's not some fucking plant that grew out of the ground that fucked up the world.
Yeah, for sure. No, you're right. You're right, absolutely. And that's true, guys. That you can just feel, you can hear the passion. That's how passionate we are about it because, cannabis is looked at. From our last podcast, we were talking about the reefer madness. I watched that movie when I got home. What a fucking joke. I mean, I was dumbfounded, the black and white version, the original one, I'm going, what the hell am I watching? I felt like I was watching Pulp Fiction, bro. And then I thought,
You thought it was a joke.
then I thought,
And that is a legitimate piece of propaganda
Right.
that was fed in every
Right.
single school. If you want to know
Right.
why your crazy aunt thinks you're going to get crazy, it's because she believes that movie. She
Yeah.
watched it.
Right.
She knew it. I know. I had an
So
uncle
check
that
this
told me
out.
that.
So this is where I'm going with this. This is where I'm going with this. So as I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking flock of seagulls, bro, laying on the couch in Pulp Fiction and all this weird shit, you know, because Pulp Fiction kind of had that kind of direction in the movie, how it really didn't make much sense, but it kind of made sense, you know what I mean? It was like, so I'm thinking to myself this whole time, like, I'm high as fuck watching this Reaper Madness, and I'm thinking to myself, motherfuckers, that's where Pulp Fiction came about. That's where all these weird movies started coming from, because this fucking propaganda movie here, that dude tried to make it seem like, oh my god, if you smoke it, you're gonna die, you're gonna want to kill people, you might turn into a zombie and start eating your arm off, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's the same thing with the Halloween. Every Halloween we hear it. Well, oh, make sure you check your candy because of drugs.
Yeah.
And it's been proven that the only incidences was like you can count them on one hand, and most of them were from family members.
Yeah.
There was literally one dude that was a crazy fuck that actually put a razor in somebody's shit.
Yeah.
Not drugs though.
It wasn't drugs.
Trust me, drugs cost way too much money. I'm not trying to
Fuck.
fucking give your kid
Bro.
no drugs.
This stuff here is expensive, man, and we can only get this by the gram. You know, and we're lucky to be able to get 7 of them.
Right?
We should be able to get as many as we want. I want 100 grams right now.
It's
you know,
crazy,
I mean,
DB.
fuck.
Crazy. Sorry for
You
losing
got you.
mine, but you know,
Hey, it's
sorry,
alright.
we're stoned. That's how it is.
Take your milk, and I'm gonna take a dab, and we're gonna get the hell out of here. We'll hit this high five deal, and
I don't think I'm gonna be able to drink the milk because it's
you
just
can't drink it.
bubbly.
We're gone. No, it's all gone. We're
It's
good.
bubbly. Yeah, the hit extend on
Oh,
those things are
Lord.
crazy.
There you go, folks.
But that's the show.
Peace. Sorry, and we're stoned.
Yeah, much more calm now. I think. We'll see. Peace.
Peace out.